Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement, from $137 all the way down to $80. Now, it has been less than 48 hours since the announcement was made that Caitlin Clark would be out for at minimum 2 weeks. Get-in price for the Sky vs. Fever game on June 7th was $86 just 48 hours ago. Now it's down to $25 after Caitlin Clark's injury announcement.
It should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
There are nights in sports when the storm finally hits, and the WNBA just got caught in the middle of a hurricane named Caitlin Clark. One minute she's lighting up the league, the next she's getting slammed to the floor like someone pressed fast forward on a wrestling highlight reel. Suddenly everything stops. Fans erupt, not with cheers but with outrage, flooding the internet with boycott threats and wild protest videos. The league wanted a tougher image, but now they're scrambling as Clark's absence becomes a full-blown crisis. When your brightest star gets battered and the world starts talking walkouts, you know you've crossed the line from competition to chaos. Welcome to the firestorm.
Caitlin Clark will miss at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Wednesday's game at the Mystics will be the first game she's ever missed.
Now, this is shocking on so many levels, man. We have never really witnessed Caitlin Clark getting hurt like that. She's always taken care of her body, and she pretty much stayed ready to go throughout college. Now, this is a shocker for me.
It was supposed to be smooth sailing, sold-out arenas, soaring viewership, and Caitlin Clark turning every Fever game into must-see TV. Instead, all it took was one injury to flip the WNBA upside down. Fans act like the sky is falling, and Indiana's season just hit an iceberg. Meanwhile, league officials put on their best poker faces, insisting everything's under control while panic brews behind the scenes. The truth, with Clark out, the WNBA isn't just missing a player, it's missing its pulse. And even the players left on the court can feel the air leave the building.
Get in the back. We know Caitlin Clark was lost yesterday to an injury for at least 2 weeks. Now, the thing about it is they're going to reevaluate in 2 weeks. And of course, man, these teams, I told you earlier, these WNBA franchises that moved games like the Chicago Sky to the, United Arena, you're screwed. You're done. You're cooked. Nobody is going to show up to this thing. Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent.
The word is out. Caitlin Clark's out at least 2 weeks with a quad strain. It's not a devastating tear, not a season-ending break, just enough to flip the whole WNBA on its head. Her leg practically filed for vacation time, and suddenly the Fever's franchise hope is in street clothes. While Clark chills on the bench, the league is left scrambling for attention, and the public, they're losing it. You'd think a little injury wouldn't be news, but the reaction has been anything but calm. Social media meltdowns, sports talk panic. Everybody's losing their minds over the league's missing centerpiece.
WNBA referees are getting destroyed. And I mean, they are getting crushed online. Honestly, they're getting crushed during every single game.
And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable.
And the Fever, they now face a critical stretch without their star.
No fan base loves harder than Clark Nation, and right now they're taking her absence like a personal attack. Emotional boycotts, protest tweets, and pledges to quit watching until she's back have turned a minor injury into an all-out movement. I'm done with the WNBA till Caitlin returns. Fans shout as if the league itself kicked their dog. Meanwhile, players across the league are raising their hands saying, hey, we're still here. But the internet's too busy obsessing over Clark to notice. For other stars, this is the ultimate reminder. No one's tuning in for anyone but number 22.
It's the latter. It could mean that Caitlin Clark could potentially miss the rest of the season. This 2-week timetable that people are running with, that's just when Caitlin Clark is going to be reevaluated. As of now, she will be reevaluated on June 9th. That does not mean, and it's highly unlikely, that June 9th or shortly thereafter is when Caitlin Clark is cleared to return.
Meanwhile, Indiana's reality check has arrived. The Caitlin Clark experience is on pause, and now it's up to Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to keep the whole ship afloat. Mitchell is running the court like she's got an extra heart, and Boston is battling for rebounds like she's fighting off ghosts. Coach Stephanie White is working overtime, rewriting game plans as if the season's a survival challenge. The good news, the next few matchups aren't exactly against juggernauts. Let's be real, the Sky haven't scared anyone lately. If the Fever hang tough now, it'll be a minor miracle and a major statement.
So this is being reported like wildfire, and it has just broken that Caitlin Clark is out with a left quad strain. Now, she was out also with a quad issue in one preseason game, which was the first game that Caitlin Clark had ever missed in her collegiate or professional career, though it was not an in-season game, and that was also due to tightness in her quad.
But let's not kid ourselves. The biggest story in the WNBA isn't the standings, the game highlights, or even the on-court action. It's how the league tries to convince everyone the party's still rocking when the main attraction just got benched. Before the injury, Clark wasn't just a rookie phenom, she was the MVP conversation. Trying to downplay her absence now is like pretending Beyonce stepping off stage is no big deal. Clark's numbers, her energy, and her fan magnetism single-handedly dragged the WNBA back into the spotlight. Now, with her sidelined, everyone's pretending the MVP race was close all along. Who are we kidding?
In WNBA news, Caitlin Clark is out for a minimum of 2 weeks with a quad strain, and our next question is, what does this mean for the Fever? So CC is going to be missing the second Sky rematch since playing them the first weekend of the season, which is definitely a bummer, but on the bright side, this injury doesn't seem too bad. It's just some quad tightness. But fear not, Fever fans. We talked to Caitlin earlier this month, and she doesn't seem too worried about the depth of this roster.
So I think our depth is probably what I would worry about the most. You know, if somebody doesn't have it one night, you're just going to the next person on the bench and the next person. And, you know, we're going to have to be able to find a way to use that to the best of our ability.
Caitlin seems like she has faith in her team, but we will see how this squad performs on the court without their number one player.
Yet, in the eye of this storm, the Fever are quietly adapting and might come out tougher for it. Without Clark carrying them every night, Indiana's roster is learning to step up. Imagine the fireworks when she returns. Refreshed, relentless, and out to silence every critic. If the Fever survive this stretch, stealing a win or two, they'll be dangerous come playoff time. Clark back at full speed, Boston confident, Mitchell surging. Suddenly Indiana could turn into the ultimate underdog threat. Don't let the injury fool you. The league's storylines are boiling over, with MVP debates, feuds, and Clark's revenge tour all just waiting to pop.
Already having a remarkable sophomore year, Caitlin Clark has been balling on so many levels, playing lights out basketball, and it looked like she could be making a run for this year's MVP. Well, I'm here to tell you, all of that has been derailed because Caitlin Clark is injured, bro.
Let's be real. Watching the WNBA without Clark is like showing up late to the festival after the headliner's already gone home. The league still has talent, sure, but the electricity isn't there, and the drama just doesn't hit the same. Fans are rage posting from their Clark-branded beanbags, while league execs watch the numbers drop and sweat over warehouses full of unsold jerseys. Without Clark taking hits every game, the viral moments have dried up, and the league's become a little too quiet. Truth is, controversy moves the needle, and without Clark's chaos, the headlines have cooled off, just when the league needed sizzle most.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, you know, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up.
Now the fans are in meltdown mode, lighting up comment sections, calling for Clark to ditch the WNBA for Europe, and insisting the league blew its shot. Some want her overseas chasing bigger paychecks and worshiping crowds. But Clark didn't show up here for comfort. She came to shake things up, even if that means taking hits and catching all the flack. Haters who live to nitpick her every move suddenly have nothing left. No memes, no clapbacks, just silence. Turns out the loudest haters go missing fast when their target leaves the floor. If you're waiting for a Clark-free WNBA to go viral, you're waiting forever.
We have seen all over social media fans saying that they didn't want to watch the games if she wasn't going to be there. They weren't going to watch on television. They weren't going to show up at the arena. This is what one fan said. They said, once I found out Caitlyn wasn't playing, it didn't make sense for us to fly to Indianapolis. We are Caitlyn fans before Fever fans. She's the biggest draw. That's who the girls want to see. That's the whole point of us going to Indy, seeing Caitlyn Clark. When she was injured, we thought, let's just postpone until August.
While Clark recovers, Angel Reese has grabbed the spotlight and run with it. Trash talking, flexing, and dominating post-game interviews with more attitude than ever. And honestly, it's working. Every time Reese drops a monster rebounding night and shows up in bold new outfits, her brand grows bigger. The league may have lost its top box office draw, but the drama didn't leave. Reese is fueling it. But let's be honest, the real main event everyone wanted was Clark versus Reese, a rematch, a ratings goldmine. Now, it's like going to a wrestling match and finding out the big names are sitting it out. If there's any upside to Clark's injury, it's that the league is being forced to build up its other stars, showing the world that Clark's just the start, not the finish line.
Now, this is shocking on so many levels, man. We have never really witnessed Caitlyn Clark getting hurt like that. She's always taken care of her body. She stayed healthy, and she pretty much stayed ready to go throughout college. Now, this is a shocker for me. Now, Caitlyn Clark was ruled possibly out at that Atlanta Dream preseason game, and I'm here to tell you she played that game, and she played every other game since, man. Maybe it's something, bro, but this is shocking in itself.
On the 28th, the Indiana Fever will be playing the Mystics. On the 30th, they are playing the Connecticut Sun, who have not won a game. On the 3rd, they're playing the Mystics again. And on the 14th, they're going to run it back against the New York Liberty. So up until the 14th, I do see these games against the Sun and against the Mystics and against the Sky as winnable games. But if anything, this should be a lesson to the league and a lesson to the officiating.
Now, finally, new names are breaking through. Clips of Kalia copper torching defenses, Brianna Stewart reminding everyone she's still an MVP, and underrated players like Dearica Hamby getting their moment in the Sun. The league is finally showcasing its depth and variety, letting fans see more than just the usual headlines. And when Clark storms back, the hype will be insane. Her comeback will be an event, a statement, maybe even a league reset. Anyone who checked out the moment she got hurt is missing the evolution. Collier's rise, Reese's reinvention, teams building real identity. The WNBA just survived its biggest stress test yet, and when Clark returns, there'll be no time for excuses. Just 40 minutes of revenge, highlight reels, and the kind of drama that only happens when a star is finally back where she belongs.